That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm Vicky Semones. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Tacoma. Those here in the sanctuary and those joining us online. Our musicians today are musical director Terry O'Hara on piano. Yes, indeed. Bienvenido Yangco on clarinet. Always beautiful. Our special guest musician today is from our choir is our own Judy Grover. Thank you, dear. Our audiovisual team above the lights is Erik Perrohe and Ronald Edams. Yes, we need them. Our practitioners today are Pam Migliozzi on platform, over there, and Bev Holland holding high watch or consciousness in the back. Today's message will be given by our interim minister, Reverend Karen Linsley. She's joining us via Zoom. At the Center for Spiritual Living, Tacoma, we are a friendly, handshaking, hugging, meet and greet, loving community, yet we recognize and respect that not everyone is quite so gregarious. So if you're here for the first time or have returned to us, we're so glad you've chosen to visit us, and we'd like to acknowledge your presence. If you'd like to give us a wave and let us know that you're here. Okay, you've been here a long time, but thank you anyway. Yay, yes. Thank you all for being here. Okay, that just throws everything out of whack. But it's a lot more fun. It's always good to remind ourselves of who we are. The Center for Spiritual Living is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. CSLT helps to empower you and me, all of us, to bring your dreams to life. And we do this in a number of ways. Practicing meditation and prayer, offering you a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual principles, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway to peace of mind.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is a pleasure to be with you this morning. The sun is shining. The roads were clear. We're so happy. So this morning, what I'd like to do is we'll have our meditation and then just move into our opening prayer. And I just invite you to just relax. Allow your body to simply just let go. Just relax. And if you choose to gently close your eyes and just to place your feet firmly on Mother Earth, I invite you to simply be in this moment, in this beautiful sanctuary, among loved ones, and to be at peace. Today's meditation is from the Science of Mind textbook by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. The power within blesses all. So I just ask you to allow these words to gently and peacefully transcend into your mind and deep into your heart. The power within me is blessing all mankind and is forever healing all with whom I come in contact. The power within me is God, and it must bless and help and heal all who come near it. Silently, the work goes on. And silently, all are being helped by this inner power. which is operating through me. I give thanks that my power within is silently blessing and helping everyone to whom my thought reaches. I invite you to speak these words to yourself. The life within me blesses all mankind. The life within me blesses all mankind. And knowing that these words are true, that the life within each of us blesses all mankind, I absolutely know that our presence here this morning is blessed. I know this because I know that God is present, and all that I am, God is. And I know this to be true for myself. I know it to be true for every person present today and every person within the sound of my voice. I know that today's service is a blessing. I know that Reverend Karen's words touch us and resonate with each person that is here this morning. Reverend Karen's love and enthusiasm and joy in her heart touches each of us. I know that God is present. I know that there is only one. And I know that this service today unfolds absolutely perfectly. I know that the music that is played and the songs that are sung reaches us and touches us and excites us and brings us joy. For this is a sanctuary of joy. This is a teaching of joy and of love. And so I am just so grateful for this morning. I am so grateful for this day, for this truly is the day that God has made. And so I say thank you, God. Thank you for all of life's blessings. And I therefore release this prayer into the law of mind, knowing that it is absolutely done. And with a very grateful heart, together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
I'll be singing 3 songs today from 3 different movies about curiosity. This first one you might recognize is Pure Imagination from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know
My gosh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Judy, and thank you so much, Terry. It's one of my favorite songs, isn't that? True imagination. We want paradise. All we have to do is just look and see. Today's reading is from our book by Ernest Holmes, 60 Meditations for a Mindful Life. And today's reading is called Enthusiastic Living. I am affirming today that the peace of God rules my heart, and the word of Christ dwells in me in wisdom. I am affirming that divine wisdom governs my heart, causing me to live in love and in union with all people. I am affirming that all the life, all the vitality, all the energy, and all the enthusiasm there is flowing through me, flowing out into action in everything I do, say, and think. I am affirming that the whole world is governed by wisdom, that love rules the heart of humanity, guiding leaders everywhere into pathways of hope, grace, peace, and prosperity. I am affirming the divine presence in human events. I am affirming divine wisdom in human judgments. I am affirming divine love as the motivating power beyond all human action. I am uniting my spiritual conviction with people of faith everywhere in the affirmation that the peace of God does rule our hearts, that the word of Christ does swell richly in us in all wisdom. And so it is. Thank you.
Karen, you're on.
Hi, everybody. That was a surprise. I didn't realize I was coming on this soon. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's so nice to be here and to see all of you. And while I was waiting for the service to start this morning, I jumped on Facebook and noticed some of you are checking in to our Facebook page. That really does my heart good. It does my heart really good to see that. Check in on Facebook when you arrive at the center. It's a wonderful way to get our name out there and to expose us to the world so we can help do our part to create a world that works for everyone. And I was just heartened to see that. So let's do some more gratitudes this morning, shall we? I'm happy to say that this little gratitude thing we've got going is working out really, really well. So here's some things that all of you at Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma are grateful for this week. Safe travels for family, finishing projects, signs of spring, the loving people here at CSL Tacoma, abundance, CSL friends, fresh bread, my growing garden, opportunities to serve, the Artist Way class, forgiveness, travel, blessings flowing into my life, Reverend Drew, safety, abundance, good health, family, my friend who invited me here today, the well-being of my family, full-time work, oysters, Reverend Drew again. Drew must have been busy this week. Reverend Karen's energy, my job, the CSL community, friends, family, sunshine, rain, music, dancing, CSL, and spirituality. Isn't that a wonderful list? I just love that list. So here's a couple of things we're doing this week. We have a town hall meeting on March 5th. Now I realize we've done our annual town hall meeting already, but the board of trustees has some information they wish to communicate to you. And so they're going to hold another one. So be here on March the 5th after the service, and we will do this town hall meeting. I will be there virtually. And we're doing visioning. We're starting up a visioning process. It will be March 11, 18, 25, and then we're skipping April Fool's Day. No fooling. We're skipping April Fool's Day and then going to April 8th. That's every Saturday starting March the 11th at 10 a.m. and it will be via Zoom. So that's it for my minister's moment today. I'm very grateful to be here with all of you. Thank you so much.
This song is from Curious George. Who's to say what's impossible? Well, they forgot. This world keeps spinning, and with each new day, I can feel it changing everything. And as the surface fades, reflections fade, but in some ways they remain the same. And as my mind begins to spread its wings, there's no stopping curiosity. I want to turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say just can't be found. I'll share this love I find with everyone. We'll sing and dance to Mother Nature's songs. I don't want this feeling to go away. Who's to say I can't do everything? Well, I can try. And as I roll along, I begin to find things aren't always just what they seem. I want to turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say just can't be found. I'll share this love I find with everyone. We'll sing and dance to Mother Nature's song. This world keeps spinning and there's no time to waste. Well, it all keeps spinning, spinning round and round and upside down. Who's to say what's impossible and can't be found? I don't want this feeling to go away. Please don't go away. Please don't go away. Please don't go away. Is this how it's supposed to be?
I'm back. I'm back. Good morning, everybody. I'm back to deliver the talk to you this morning. And before I get started on my talk, if you notice a little hoarseness in my voice, it's because, yes, my voice is hoarse. And I'm okay. I'm just not talking really well this morning, but I'll get through this really well. So today we're talking about curiosity again. We've been talking about curiosity all month, and I love the topic of curiosity. And I had an opportunity this work to really exercise my curiosity, to really lean into curiosity as a spiritual practice. And it can be that. I went to the Vista Convention this week, and wow, wasn't that convention something? While I was there, I felt the full range of emotions. Joy accompanied by full-on belly laughs. Some awakenings, some of them accompanied by tears. Hope, optimism, and no small amount of overwhelm. Now, it's always like this for me at conventions, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I really hope that those of you who went to the convention enjoyed it as much as I did. And I did enjoy it as much as I did because I employed curiosity the entire time it was there. And so today in my talk, not only do I want to talk about how to do that, how to employ curiosity in your life, but also I want to weave in some of the things that I heard at the convention into this topic of curiosity. So curiosity for me is all about living out loud. It's about jumping in with both feet. It's about going full steam ahead into the unknown because I have faith that all is well and all continues to be well, no matter what. Curiosity is about asking, what if? I have a game I like to play. I call it the what if game. And I ask myself, what if I did this? What if I went there and did that? When we ask ourselves, what if we do something that is out of the norm for us, we open ourselves up to the gifts that curiosity brings us. We open ourselves up to new experiences and growth. And actually, it's pretty easy to live a life based in curiosity. You can do something as simple as taking the road less traveled when you go somewhere. Now, I've made the trip to Santa Rosa many times. Part of it is freeway, and I want to share with you, I don't like freeways much. Everybody goes too fast, they tailgate. You can't sightsee. I just don't care for freeways much. So I take the back road whenever possible. I will purposely leave home earlier in order to be able to take the back road to get to where I'm going. Now, I know my area, the country. I've been to Santa Rosa many times. When I drive to Reno, I know the back road there. I know all these back roads, so I can pretty much get anywhere without getting on a freeway. So I take the back road, and that's a way to employ curiosity in your life. Take the back road. Now, on this back road to Santa Rosa, I see farm country, I see agriculture, I see wonderful old homes, I see, well, this trip I saw green grass, which was really special to see. And I got to be able to slow down a bit and just enjoy the trip. These are all things brought to me by curiosity. Then I arrived in Santa Rosa and I got settled in and I got curious about where I was going to have dinner. Now, within walking distance of my hotel is a Denny's restaurant. I didn't want to go there. I really didn't want to go to Denny's for dinner. I could have, but I did a search. I decided I wanted Mexican food, and so I did a search, and I found this Salvadoran restaurant. And guess where it is? Same parking lot as the Denny's, which is within walking distance of the hotel where I was staying. So off I walked. I walked, not drove, to this little restaurant. And as I approached it, I realized that from the outside, this place didn't look very impressive. But when I walked through the door, I smelled all those heavenly smells. And I saw the nice way they had it decorated. And I knew this was going to be one of those absolute gems of a restaurant that might look like a hole in the wall joint, but it had the best food ever. I ended up eating there twice the 4 days I was in Santa Rosa. So if you employ some curiosity and you go out in the world and you try something new, simply by employing curiosity, you might find something really, really special. Now, is living a life based on curiosity risky? It can be. But here's where faith comes in. We step into the unknown, and that can feel risky. It can feel scary. But if we have faith, then it's not so scary. And if we have this belief that what our teaching says is true, God is all good all the time. Now, that's the kind of belief I think that we either have or we don't. It doesn't seem to be a lot of middle ground there with beliefs like that, at least not for me. I'm either believing that God is all good all the time or I'm not. Now, sometimes I have to remind myself that God is all good all the time, no matter what. Because I haven't changed the belief, but sometimes I forget it. And so I remind myself, oh yeah, Karen, God is all good all the time, no matter what. That means that whatever it is that's going on in my life right here and right now might feel a little scary, might feel a little risky, because I've stepped out in curiosity and I'm doing something different. But God is all good all the time, no matter what. And so I can do that. I can employ curiosity in all of it and ask myself, what if I did this instead of that? What if I went this way or that way? And I can open myself up to the gifts that occur as a result of living in curiosity. So now I want to move into that part of my talk where I bring in some tidbits from the convention, from the various speakers that I heard. And the first one I want to share with you really talks about curiosity. I mean, it nails it. Here's the quote. We use the principles and practices of our teaching to create something out of nothing. Now, how do we do that? How do we create something out of nothing? Well, first of all, we got to know what we want to create. And then we have to set our intentions. We have to do our treatment work. And we have to know, have faith. And then we have to release it. So this is a basic teaching of ours. This teaching that says we have the ability and the power to create something out of nothing. And yet, I see plenty of evidence in this teaching that that belief is not in place. And I think when we look at our teachings and say that teaching isn't for me, or I don't believe that thing, I don't believe that I can create something out of nothing. I think we stop curiosity dead in the water when we do that. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to do that. I love living my life based on curiosity, on asking what if on a regular basis, on trying new things. I clog up the possibilities when I refuse to ask what if. I clog up the possibilities when I refuse to believe that I can create something out of nothing, because I have created something out of nothing many, many times. I would prefer to step out in faith and ask, what if I simply went within and became what it was I wanted to create? What if I went within and became abundance? What if I went within and became unconditional love? What if I went within and became compassion? What if I can open up to the possibilities that way? And by asking what if, I'm leaving room for spirit, if you want to call it that. I'm leaving room for unknown possibilities to come in there. And when I live in a world where I leave possibilities up for chance, where curiosity takes precedence over certainty, I get to experience some really interesting things. Now, here's something that happened at the convention that I'll share with you. So I saw that we had a speaker scheduled to come up on the roster who was going to deliver her talk all in Spanish. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. That's really neat. That's inclusive. That's diverse. Let's do this. Now, they had headsets for us that we could make use of for free. They weren't charging for them, so that we could hear a translation in our ears while she was delivering her talk. And I thought to myself, you know, I used to speak Spanish pretty fluently. No, I forgot the part where I used to speak Spanish fluently 40 years ago. I forgot that part. I just remembered that I used to speak Spanish fluently. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to try and wing this. I'm going to employ some curiosity and wing it. Now, simultaneously with this curiosity thing, I always sit up front wherever I'm at, because I want to see the faces of the people I'm watching. Doesn't matter if it's a concert or a talk or whatever it is, a class. I want to be up front. I want to be where the action is. I want to be right there in the middle of it. So I'm sitting up front, and if you've ever been to CSL Santa Rosa, you know you enter from the back. And it's a long walk from the front to the back. So I'm sitting up front, and this woman starts speaking, and I can't understand a word she's saying. Remember, it's 40 years ago that I used to speak fluent Spanish. I can't understand anything. So I get up. I walk all the way to the back. I go out into the fellowship hall. I pick up one of those headsets. I walk all the way back up to the front. I sit down. I put on the headsets. And it's a faulty headset. I can hear nothing but static on it. Now, I could have gotten up again, disturbed all the people in line, in the line, in the seating I was seated at, and gone back and gotten another headset. But I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. So I sat there instead and didn't understand a word this woman said, because all I could hear was static. And I began to feel what it must feel like to be in a place where I don't speak the language. I began to feel what it must feel like to be in a place where I'm not of the same culture as other people. And I can tell you that was not very comfortable for me. But along that same line of thinking, in my own sense of discomfort, I realized I was also feeling some empathy for people who are of a different culture than I am, people who speak a different language than I do. And I began to ask, what if? What if we created a world where everyone could feel safe in this world? What if? And I began to ask myself that question. Now, I still don't have all the answers to that, but I made a start. And this is how curiosity can work in our life. We make a start with this kind of stuff. So it was a good lesson for me And yeah, I did employ some curiosity, and it was wonderful. So, onward. It was time for Reverend Edward to speak. Now, I happen to think that Reverend Dr. Edward Volune is the bee's knees. I once considered moving to Santa Rosa so I could become a member of his center. Can you imagine that? I was going to move from one state to the other, from a totally different place to another different place, just so I could be a member of his center. And I realized something firsthand about something one of the other speakers said. The success of a spiritual community rests not on the leader, but entirely on the community itself. Now, way back in time, in Centers for Spiritual Living, that wasn't always true. The success of a community rested entirely on the minister. Now, is it still written into our bylaws that the buck stops with the minister? Yep, still there. Buck stops with the senior minister. So the senior minister has a huge role to play in the success of the community. But the success of a spiritual community rests on the community itself, all of you coming in here, doing the things you're doing, spreading the energy you're spreading, employing curiosity in your life, actually doing this thing called Center for Spiritual Living, a philosophy and a way of life. It rests on all of you. And I don't know about you, but back then, I was kind of awestruck. I was still in ministerial school, and I was awestruck at the absolute largeness of some of the people I was meeting. I've since come to realize that ministers are human too. We're all human. And for me to place that much faith in one person, that much to base a move, to uproot my entire life and base a move on one person, perhaps not the best idea in the world. But I did ask, what if? I did. I said, what if, Karen, you packed it up and moved to Santa Rosa? And I explored it. I explored it pretty seriously. So we can still ask ourselves, what if? And consider the possibilities and decide, man, not going to do that. Not right now. Maybe later. Not yet. So I'm sitting there in Santa Rosa this time. I'm full of possibilities, and I'm listening to someone speak that I admire greatly. And as usual, Reverend Dr. Edward is coming forth with these quotes that are inspiring me. Here's one of his quotes. He says, impatience means we forget to look at what is happening right now. We can celebrate what is happening right now without forgetting where we need to go. And we can celebrate progress while remaining aware of what still needs to be done. And I got to thinking about curiosity. And I got to thinking about my job as interim minister. And I got to thinking about how impatient people are to step into the new. It happens with every single community I work with. I come in and I'm wanting to slow everybody down. Let's get some inner work done. Let's see what wants to be revealed here. Let's do our inner work. And the community is like, no, we need to do stuff. We need to do this program and that program and teach this class, and we need to do things, and they're impatient. And I think we can employ some curiosity in order to allow for what really wants to be revealed come out to the light of day. Because you know what Ernest Holmes said? There is no healing, only revealing. And so curiosity, part of what curiosity means is to allow for the revealing of what wants to come up to the light of day so that there's no more shadow. When I'm impatient, it can signal to me that my faith is lacking a bit. Because if I'm impatient and I'm wanting to rush the process, that means I'm not believing in this natural flow that happens with things. I'm not giving it a chance to work. So I look at things like that with curiosity and realize that it all comes down to faith. It really does. It all comes down to faith. We have this thing that happens when we step out in curiosity. It's good. It's all good all the time. And when we step out in curiosity, it's all good all the time. And that's what I love about stepping out in curiosity. That's what I love about living curiosity out loud. It's a wonderful way to live. So in living this life of curiosity, we might ask ourselves, what if I acted as if I really was a unique and individualized manifestation of spirit? What if I acted as if I really was a little godling running around? What if I used faith as my foundation 24/7? What if I used faith as my strength to give me confidence as I stepped into the unknown? And what if I was able to step into the unknown pretty consistently on a regular basis because of that faith? I would think that there would be a lot of gifts show up as a result of that. And I'd like to think that you do too. I learned in this teaching called Science of Mind that what I believe is what manifests. It tells us it is done unto us as we believe. We have this law called the law of attraction. We have this thing called God, or the stuff that is, or spirit. And we are taught that it is within us, a part of us. And so to live an out loud life of curiosity, a life where we no longer play small, a life grander than anything we could have imagined, I must anchor in faith and knowingness and belief that I am. That's it. I am. And I must nurture my belief that God is as well. And God is all good all the time. There is but one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. And so with that faith and that belief, I can step out in curiosity and know that all is well. I thank you very much. I'm so grateful to be here today. So grateful for this opportunity to speak with you and be here with you across the miles from lovely Nevada, where it's been snowing for 3 days and it's going to snow for another 3. Blessings to you all. And I am complete.
This song is from a movie about a Bigfoot who is curious about the small foot. to life than meets the eye, a beauty to behold. It's all much bigger than we know. It's only just beginning to unfold, so let it all unfold. Far beyond all reason in your mind, there's a world mysterious there for you to find. All these questions that we always have, all we are is curious. There's nothing wrong with that. So go around every corner, search every part of the sky for a life that's full of wonder. It's a wonderful life. Dig beneath the surface, find the lessons there to learn, then dig deeper. Feed your intuition, don't leave any stone unturned. Be a seeker of the truth. Listen when you hear it calling you. You know it's calling you. Far beyond all reason in your mind, there's a world mysterious there for you to find. All these questions that we always have, all we are is curious. Nothing wrong with that. Go round every corner, search every part of the sky for a life that's full of wonder. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. And the answers are far away. Look closer, look closer.
Before we do the offertory, I wanted to tell you that Jude has been a member of the choir for a long time. She's a wonderful songwriter, and I want to applaud you for your courage to come up individually and not be part of the group and to do this. Thank you, dear. We have hidden talent everywhere. I'd like to ask the ushers to please come forward. Thank you. Together, let us say the offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
I need to say a few words about this music. A matter of curiosity, that's our topic. How many of you have heard of Astor Piazzolla? Oh, no. I need questions. How many of you have heard of Astor Piazzolla raising the spiritual service? Well, you will hear it today, and I've done it before. And Astor Piazzolla, as you know, is the king of tango. So it's not going to be a tango that I'm going to play. It would be a curiosity that he had written a piece for the Virgin Mary, Ave Maria. But he wrote this as a part of a movie. And the director renamed it as Tanti, Prima many years ago. So, but the words are in praise of our Virgin Mary. So, Tanti, Prima, Ave Maria.
Annie? Oh, good, I'm on. Okay, thank you, everyone. Well, let's just take a moment. I know that my curiosity has been piqued. I know that this is a beautiful day. This service was absolutely beautiful, as we knew it would be, because we know that God is right here, God is present, and all is well. And I know that we are just full of pure imagination. The beautiful songs, the lovely music, the words that were shared with us this morning were inspiring and heartwarming and brought us smiles and joy. And our thanks to our dear Reverend Karen for her beautiful message this morning, which I know has touched each of us. And so my prayer today, as we close this beautiful service, I had a mixture of things that I would just like each of us to think about. February is, we celebrate Black History Month. So let us send our blessings and our love to all of our dear ones celebrating Black History Month. And let us send our prayers to the people of Turkey and the people of Syria who have undergone a devastating earthquake. And pray for all of the first responders, the hospital workers, the nurses, the doctors, people that are trying so hard to save those, to bless those beautiful souls. And also let us pray that this war in Ukraine comes to an end this year, right now at this very moment. And to bless those beautiful people that are fighting so hard for their country. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this teaching. I am so grateful for the absolute awareness that God is always present every moment of every day. And so I say, thank you, God. Thank you for this teaching. Thank you for the CSL Tacoma. Thank you for these beautiful souls. And so I therefore just anchor this closing prayer into the law of mind, knowing that it is absolutely unfolding perfectly as it should. And I say, thank you, God. And so it is.
Well, I don't know about you, but sometimes, the music, the prayers, changes our awareness of our world. And I feel so blessed. And I'm supposed to be here to ground you again. So I'll try to do that. But I'm so moved by how Spirit shows up every week in unusual ways, and how we are affected in different ways. And so I'm just so grateful for Benny and for what you show us and what we learn about the music, and your prayer, dear, that makes us realize we are part of a larger world, and it's important what we do here. So, a couple of announcements. I just want to build on what Reverend Karen said about the town hall meeting coming up next Sunday, March 5th. The agenda is going to include our 2023 budget, which is very important to know about, the search for our new minister and how we're progressing with that, and visioning for our center. And this will also be available on Zoom. March 5th is also our potluck Sunday, so please bring finger foods and snacks for everyone, because we're going to be up here for the meeting afterwards instead of down in Fellowship Hall. Now, also, you want to make sure that you make room in your calendar for these visioning sessions in March. They're on Saturdays, and we learned from Reverend Karen, they'll be at 10 o'clock. And it's important that you come because we're going to be looking at who we are and what we want for our future. And it's going to be every Saturday in March. That's the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th at 10 o'clock, and also April 8th. And I imagine during the week we might be getting an email about this. Okay. So I'd like to remind everyone that we have a mindful meditation on at 7 o'clock on Thursdays, excuse me. I know I'm on my close-up, so I want to be prepared. And the mindful meditation is handled by Reverend Drew Ebersol and practitioner Laura Lee Bentel. Also, Doug Taylor is asking that we drop into his book study class, Creating a Beloved Community. There is no specified fee for this. I think he's running a few more sessions of it because I understand they're having some really wonderful conversations, 2 more sessions. So this would be your time to drop in, but make sure that you sign up on the website that you're going to be coming. Just in case, did anyone have a birthday last week? Oh, okay, one of these days we're going to be able to do this and have Terry play the song. So thank you so very much for being here today. What a wonderful service. So please stand and join hands as you can across the aisle as we sing the peace song. Thank you.